Today's episode of Aquatic Wetline is brought to you by Oasis Aquatics. Find your oasis today. Find your next fish at oasisaquaticsnj.com. Check out Oasis Aquatics on Facebook and Instagram.
Love African cichlids? Want to learn how to keep African cichlids? Fish keepers have been asking for an African cichlid show. Well, Aqua is here delivering an African cichlid show. There is a special co-host from Australia who has kept African cichlids for many years. African cichlid guru Josh Watts will join Aqua and educate us all about the African cichlid. Josh and Aqua will discuss everything you need to know about African cichlids. We will discuss setting up African cichlid tanks, different African cichlid species from Mabunas to peacocks to haps to Frontosa. Everything you need to know about Africans will be discussed. Have questions you want Josh and Aqua to answer? Simply post your questions in the comments. Now, it is our pleasure to welcome you for the African cichlids. Live from Australia is Josh Watts and live from Green Acres, Florida is Aqua. Take it away, boys.
Hello everyone! Welcome to For the African Cichlids. I'm one of your hosts, Aqua Cardinale. My co-host Josh Watts from Australia will be here momentarily. Tonight we are discussing our favorite African cichlid. It is one of the most popular African cichlids in the aquarium hobby. It comes from Lake Tanganyika. Tonight, we're talking about Frontosa Cichlids here on For the African Cichlids. Frontosas are one of my dream fish, and I can't wait to have a group of Frontosas. I'm actually going to be setting up an aquarium for Frontosas for my birthday, so it's going to be an incredible display aquarium. So if you have any questions on Frontosas, please post them down in the comments, and I'll make sure that Josh and I answer your questions. So we're going to welcome Josh to the show in just a few minutes, but I'm going to begin the show with some quick Frontosa information, and then Josh is going to come on and talk about Frontosa cichlids with me. So if you love Frontosas like us, you're going to appreciate and enjoy this episode. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to give you a brief Frontosa information lecture. So here is some quick Frontosa information. Frontosa belong to the genus Cyphotilapia, which is a small genus of African cichlids endemic to Lake Tanganyika, with Cyphotilapia frontosa being roughly confined to the northern half of the lake, and Cyphotilapia gibberosa roughly to the southern half. They have a distinctly banded pattern, bulbous foreheads when mature, and can reach up to 14 inches in length. They are one of the African cichlids that get a hump head when they are mature. They are a mouth-brooding cichlid with a rather small batch of fry each spawn. The mother will hold the fry in her mouth for about 3 to 4 weeks before finally releasing about 30 to 70 fry. Now, Frontosa are slow-growing fish, and they can take up to 6 years to reach sexual maturity, and they can live for up to 25 years. So they are definitely a fish that you'll enjoy keeping and raising. So, with that being said, I would like to welcome on my co-host who is going to educate us all on Frontosa, probably a little bit better than I can. Coming to us from Australia is my friend Josh Watts. Josh, how are you doing today, sir?
Not too bad, mate. How's things?
Doing great. You look great today.
Yeah, it's cold.
That sucks. It's nice and warm down here in Florida.
Yeah, it's usually here and down under. It's usually warm. but it's now our winter, so yeah, it's quite cool.
Today we're talking about our favorite African cichlid, the Frontosa.
Oh, cool. Alrighty, let's get into it.
So what's your favorite thing about Frontosas?
Oh, my favourite thing about Frontosas is just the colour. You can, with the way how they are, the striping or the bars. There's so many things to like about them. They're slow, they're placid. Especially if they're in a species only tank, you won't have any hassles, providing that you haven't got too many alpha males in your tank. If you've got more than one, you could have a bit of a hassle.
So how did you get into Frontosas? What drew you to them?
Oh, I started looking into them. Oh, gee, it would have been 3.5 to 4 years ago, and I was a member of another a down under group. It was African cichlids down here, and I started seeing all the members that were down here of this group posting pictures of Frontosas, and I was only just getting into Africans at that stage with your Malawis. And I went, I asked a lot of questions. Went, they look really cool, but yet they look so odd. And I thought, God, man, they look ugly. And just the look of them at first, when you're into the African cichlid hobby. And I just went, they're not for me. And then they grew on me. Started seeing them in aquariums in big display tanks. I just went, and now I know how big they can get. And I thought, oh yeah, they just look dull, dumb, and docile. And I saw the Burundis. These Burundis in a display tank, a big 8-foot display tank, and I just went, all right, if they're Burundis, what else is there? And then I started getting into it, and I heard about the Zaire blue mobers. And I started trying to find where I could find them. Couldn't find them. So I went, all right then, I'll go digging. I've caught up with a fella in Melbourne. He had genuine blue mobers. I bought a small colony. They were all real small juveniles, about 2 inches or thereabouts. And I tried to grow them, and then I had a tank failure and I lost them. So, and that hurt me because I can't find them since. So I just went, well, I'm going to go the other end. Everyone's saying 7-bar Frontosa, which is a Kigoma, or the poor man's Frontosa. I just went, no. I went back to this aquarium on the north side of Brisbane. I walked straight in. I went, I'm after a colony of fronties. What do you have? And they just showed me all of them. They just went, it just depends what you want to spend. So I was looking around. I went, well, I don't care as long as they look good, and I can and they'll breed. So they just went, by the owner's breeding colony. They're down here. All right, sweet. How much does he want? And he told me the price and went, sweet, give me a week. I just walked it all over, brought them home. Within 3 months, they started breeding. And ever since then, I now know what Kingomas are, and I love them. Now I'm looking at your Ocolas. There's a few other ones, but the names of them are they're a tongue twister. So I know what they look like. There's one. It's a distant relative of the blue Zaire mober, but it comes from the other side of Lake Tanganyika on the eastern side, and I'm after those. I mean, they look like a say across a Burundi with the splash of the mober, the blue Zaire mober in them. So it's a real dark, vibrant blue. And the only way you can tell by 6-bar, if you've got a Burundi or you've got a moba or you've got a Nicola or any of the other species, is the mask. That very front bar that goes over their eyes is the only way how you can tell what it is. One way for an experienced fronty owner is that bar. It's usually that the length of the front fins down the bottom, and how long and how vibrant bluish white they are. Mobas are just black with the touch of real dark blue on all the tip of their fins, dorsal. It spins underneath right through till its tail. Well, its tail's jet black, so you know you've got something really good there, something expensive if you can get them to breed. But all fronties are real good fun. They're slow growers, but it's just patience and part of owning fronties.
That's true. I think they're all equally beautiful.
Yeah, they just, when you start looking at black widows and more your hybrid type species of fronties, yeah, they're like, to me, not the be all to end all. I like to stick with the genuine genes of the fronties. So I usually try and stick with the middle of the road to the high end, but finding high end at the moment are just so, they're near on impossible. So I'm just happy with what I've got.
That's true. Brian's watching, and Brian says he tried a Frontosa in his Malawi tank, and it was too docile and got killed.
Yeah, because he would have had something else in with it. But fronties, usually they're shy too. They're just like a Calvis. They can be fairly shy. Sometimes, depending how adapted they are to that environment of the tank, they'll come out and they'll just show themselves off, especially if there's females there. The male will always chase them around, trying to get their groove on, but you just let them be how they want to be, and they'll come out and they'll show themselves when they feel safe and they're ready to.
Nice. I like the Black Widow Frontosas. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, but they're a hybrid. They're just like your red Frontosa. They're a hybrid as well. They're not a genuine.
That's true. I do like the Mobas. The Mobas are my favorite Frontosa.
Yeah, well, don't tease me, all right? I'm after them.
I actually have a poster of all the different types of Frontosa. I'm going to put it on the screen for the viewers to see.
Yep, that's the light there. So
some of these names are probably...
Yeah, some of them are complicated. Like you've got your... down the bottom left-hand side there on the... Well, if you look at the lake, so where you've got that, like, peninsula there, that's the eastern side. There in the middle. So you go down a little bit where it goes white and it starts going a lightish violet purple, then it's a real dark blue. You got those two dark blue species there. That's Zaire. That's where your moba, and there's another species of the blue Zaire moba as well. And I think that one is the bottom. I think it's either the bottom or the top one.
That's cool. The Kigmas are nice too. They look beautiful too. They're all beautiful.
Oh, the Kigomas or the Kigmas?
Kigomas.
Yeah, Kigomas are the ones I've got. They're 7-bar. They're awesome.
They're very cool fish.
Yep. Very slow growing, just like they all are.
That's cool, though. You get to watch them grow, and as they get bigger, you get to experience their changes.
Yeah, you do. It's just patience. Don't feed them color-enhancing food because you'll ruin them. Just let them evolve on their own.
So what would be your advice for people who want to keep Frontosas?
Have a big enough tank. That's the main one. You got to have a large tank. Just don't think you can put one male with 3 or 4 females in it, your male will get big. I mean, real big. So your male will get up to nearly a foot in size. Your females are usually a bit smaller, usually up to about the 20 centimetre mark. So what's that? It's about 6 inches or thereabouts. Maybe 10 push 7 or 8. A 3 foot tank is not big enough. You need a minimum of a 5 by 2 by 2 foot tank and upwards. So the bigger the tank, the more room they got to move around, and the more scape work you've got, like your substrate, your rock work. You can't afford rocks. Here's a good little pointer for you. Terracotta pots, but break the bottom. So just get a hammer and just lightly tap it, shatter the bottom. Just stick the part that's broken, bury it into your substrate. Your females will dive in there because they're at that point, they're ready to breed. They want somewhere safe to stay out of the road from the male, because all the females will all fight over the male to try and get their groove on.
That's cool. So is it necessary to keep more than one Frontosa, or can you just have one in the tank?
Oh, you can have one. It's just like any fish. Funny's better off with more the merrier. Let them. They are a socializing fish, but they're very shy at the same time. If they get startled, they'll hide and they won't come out until it's dark. And then and that's usually when everybody has their lights off and things. Then they'll come out and they'll just stay out. The moment they see movement, bang, they're gone, they'll hide.
That's true, but that's like most cichlids.
Yeah, basically any cichlid is like that, regardless if it's African, North or, sorry, not North, even if it's South and Central American, they all do it. Unless you've got Oscars.
So in your opinion, sorry for interrupting you.
All good. I was just going to say, it's just like your Oscars. Those buggers will never hide. They're like the water puppy of the hobby. Every enthusiast loves Oscars. Even if you can't own an Oscar, they still like the way how sociable they can be. They can be buggers too.
They love to eat for sure.
Yeah, anything that's big enough to fit in their mouth, it's gone.
So in your opinion, is it better to buy juvenile Frontosas or medium-sized Frontosas?
Depending on what you want out of Frontosas, if you want to breed them, get adults. And make sure you ask questions before you're committed on buying them. Ask questions first. Find what species of Frontosa they are. Have they bred before? You always got to ask those questions, because if someone at a local fish store or an aquarium doesn't know what they're talking about, will just say, "Oh yeah, they'll breed." You bring them home thinking you're gonna see them breed, and then all of a sudden, 8 or 12 months later or longer, nothing's happening. Well, they're not a breeding colony. You've got to start from scratch again. So you keep them and just experiment with the parameters a little bit. Try and really get them going. If they feel comfortable, watch their colors, especially the blue or the whitish type blue in between the black bars. That starts getting darker, especially with your females, or they go jet black. Then you're in for a good time. They will breed. That's showing signs to the male, "Hey, I'm ready. Let's get a groove on. I want fry," sort of thing. And yeah, you're set then.
So would you say Frontosas are a fish that are easy to keep?
Some are, some aren't. But you get into your more exotic ones like your Mobas, I think that word's spelt milwippy or something like that. And some of the Acolas are hard. They are more for your experienced cichlid keeper. Your congomas are probably one of the most easiest to breed, providing you've got the right tank, you've got everything spot on, and you're not one of those aquarium hobbyists that chase numbers. Don't. You chase numbers, you're going to fail. They won't breed. You're going to constantly chase numbers. Just once you know your tank in your mind is set, the parameters are spot on, KH is perfect, leave it and just watch them. Give them time, they'll breed. Just don't go chasing numbers. It's pointless.
So they're from Lake Tanganyika, so their pH would be around the 8.0 range, right?
8.4. 8.4 and upwards.
Perfect. So that's the only parameter you should be worried about is the pH.
pH is one of the main two. That and your KH. KH, fronties, 14 degrees of degrees of carbon hardness. You get it at that, and try and keep it there. You're laughing. Your fronties will be happy. They'll just be always active. You have it 2 weeks, you'll notice they'll stay still and they'll hide. And they'll be like that for days, weeks, sometimes months, because it's a shock to them.
That's cool. So I think the Burundi Frontosa is probably the most popular one.
Yeah, the Burundi is the most common. It's the most common and easy to get. So your Burundis, they just look like any other Frontosa that it's around. Only way you can tell is by that mask over the eye. Mask over the eye and the colours down the side. The Burundi has got more of a white. Its fins on its underbelly, usually just blue. They're dorsal fins. I'm just trying to remember mine because I've got a couple. Yeah, the males will be more of a white on the top of the dorsal fin will have a little thin blue line, and this tail's black. No, tail's not black. The alpha male will be black. It'll have a black tail. The betas will be just a straight electric-y light blue color. So just take that into mind if you're going to go Burundis. But Burundis, they grow pretty. They're probably, in my mind, one of the quickest growing out of the Frontosas. So you could start them at an inch and a half. Within 6 months, they could be anywhere between 5 to 6 inches. So they're almost to the point they're sexually mature, almost ready for breeding. Just all it is just try. It's not trial and error. It's watch how their colours are. So the males go black, real darkish black and grey, and a real dirty dark grey, and that blue stays on them. They're ready.
I believe they're also the cheapest Frontosas around, and they're also captive breeds now. A lot of the other Fronties are wild caught.
Yeah, big difference between wild caught and captive bred. Wild caught are more of your jumpers, so that can be even wild caught Burundis even. Your wild caught will jump regardless. So your captive bred, they'll get startled, but usually they just startle. They get used to their surroundings. It's just like normal for them. They'll just swim around like normal. Wild caught, F1s will jump, F2s will jump, but not as much. And then you go down the scale, going right down to your captive bred sort of fronties. They see you, they'll get startled. You might get the odd one that'll jump, and then that's it. They'll just swim around. You just got to watch the stress levels and all that stuff building inside your tank.
So what would you recommend as a diet for frontosas? Because they're predators, right?
Yeah, they're predators. Brine shrimp, mysis shrimp. Um, you can feed them. You can feed them those bug bites. I've heard they will have a go at bug bites. Um, you can use. I have heard on the grapevine they will eat shrimp, like like cherry shrimp or something like that. But you don't want to risk it. So it just brine shrimp, mysis shrimp, some daphnia. They love daphnia, which is frozen. There's a few others. Marine green, they'll eat that because it's got veggies in it. They will eat it because you've got to vary their diet. You vary their diet, they'll be happy. Just don't constantly get them sitting eating brine shrimp or mysis shrimp. But with these guys, don't feed them bloodworms, if frozen or live. It's pointless. Don't feed them bloodworms. You're in for a world of hurt. Next minute, you will see your fish have passed away because they're bloated.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I was just about to mention that.
Yeah, now that's one of the most commonly asked questions with people that are looking at Africans. Can I feed them bloodworms? Answer is hell no. Don't even risk it. Not even as a treat. I've heard people saying, "Oh, but I feed mine as a treat. They're fine." And then they ask me a week later, "Hey, I fed them this. They're dead." Well, what? And you just got to politely ask them, "What did you feed them?" "Oh, frozen bloodworms." There's your problem. They can't handle them. Their metabolism is a lot slower, and the gut is not as good as your South and Central American cichlids. They can't handle bloodworms.
What about earthworms? Would earthworms be a bad diet for them?
Well, earthworms. Yeah, earthworms. I'll be honest. I I'm not sure. I I wouldn't take the risk until I started asking questions first, and I've actually got the right experience from someone that knows what they're really talking about. I wouldn't I wouldn't take the risk, especially if you got the expensive fronties. Why take the risk?
That's true. You're right about that. I wouldn't want to lose a frowny over a $2 earthworm.
Yeah, well, you can get an earthworm even out of your garden or out of your compost bin, but it's not worth it. You could
That's
be
true.
feeding a earthworm to a three, four, five, eight, $900 frontosa, depending on what species it is, and if it's wild caught or F1, don't risk it.
So, what are some good tank mates for frontosas?
The black calvus. Um, I sent you all that information a couple of weeks ago. You got me on the spot. Um, there is like a catfish around. I don't know the name of it, but it is a Lake Tanganyika, and they only grow up to about 2 inches. There's those.
Synodontis.
That's the ones. They're only small, but pronties
Yeah,
will
the cuckoo cat.
yeah they'll they'll leave them alone. Black calvus is one. Tropius is a big no-no. I think it's called oh no. It starts with an L. It'll come. Yeah, La Lupis, I think they are. I think they're a Lake Tanganyika, and they're a yellow. They're
Yes.
they're a really, they're a really cool fish. Yeah, there's about 7 or 8 different species of tank mates that will be ideal with fronties, but you've got to make sure they're big enough where the buggers can't stick them in their mouth. If their mouth's smaller than their mouths, it's game over. They're just like an Oscar. Big enough to fit in their mouth, it's gone.
So basically, Lake Tanganyika cichlids are great tank mates for Frannies.
Yeah, like it's just trial and error. Some will take to them, some won't. The Brundies are probably your most calmest ones because they'll just be happy with whatever you put in there. So providing they're big enough, they can't stick them in their gob.
How do you think Frontosas would do with peacocks and haps?
I proved it. It works. Yeah, in my 6 foot inside.
Because I know peacocks and haps are more mellow than their Mbuna counterparts.
Well, yeah, peacocks and haps, they'll chase. They will chase your fronies around just to socialise. And booners will hide. They're too fronies too big for them. So more of your haps will go after them. Your Venustus will. Your Livistonies are pretty docile. They see a fronty and that's bigger than them. Oh, they stay away until that Livistony's big enough. Then they'll give them a run for their money. Your polystigmas, which is on the same gene as your Venustus and your Livistony, they can, but the polystigmas, from my experience, are more aggressive than your Livistony and your Venustus. So, yeah, if you're going to go Lake Tanganyika and mix them with Lake Malawis, stick with your more friendlier types like your A.C.Es, your blues, your black Tanzanians, your whites, your white-tail A.C.Es can work. There's your redfin cadangos, your Eureka reds, your OB peacocks, your blood dragons, your strawberry peacocks can work well with them too, because they'll nip at them at a fronty once, and then that's it. The fronty will retaliate. It'll chase them. It's just like any fish.
I think the blue dolphins would look great with some Frontosas.
The blue dolphins are a good take mate with Frontosas.
I saw some adult blue.
Yeah, your adult blue dolphins. They are slow growers. They're not fast. They're medium slow. It just depends what you're feeding them and how big that tank is, because they will grow to the size of the tank. Everyone goes, "Oh, that's just a myth." They'll grow to the size of the tank. They'll grow with the tank. The more fish you put in there, they'll grow with them. And we've had blue dolphins here in another tank, and I had them up over a foot. They were huge. And I thought, I think these are those mocha white lips, but no, they were blue dolphins. Everyone said, I've had people come here just to check them. No, they're blue dolphins. They're huge. What do you want for them? Not for sale.
Yeah, they are beautiful as adults. My local fish store has some.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Like
so the juvenile, 200 a piece. Yeah, I can pick up. Down here, I can pick up blue dolphins for about $35 to $40, Australian, that is.
Wow, that's a good price.
Star sapphires, yeah, that's a different story. They are expensive.
Those are nice too, the star sapphires.
Yep, and they take a while before they chip.
So what size do Frontosas begin breeding?
Start breeding from from your 15, from 15 centimeters. So I think that's about 6 or 7 inches or thereabouts. From there upwards. So from 15 centimeters or half your 1 foot ruler, they'll start breeding. Or start showing really good breeding. I'll just decline that. I'll call it back later. Sorry about that.
That's okay. You're a busy man.
A phone call. So my apologies.
No, you're good. Don't apologize.
But we are trialing one product as we speak.
Very cool. So have you had any Frontosas breed?
Yeah, my female's spitting as we speak, but she's hiding. I can't get a clear, good view of how she's doing it because I want to see her. I want to see them how they spit. No, she's got herself buried in the rock work, and all you can see is her tail, and she's as black as my jumper. And the male's nowhere to be seen. He's way down the other end of that 5-foot tank in the garage, hiding inside that terracotta log thing there. That's his home. He won't go anywhere near the other end because the other Sheila and a couple of the other ones in there will chase him back. So he stays there.
He doesn't want to pay child support.
Yeah, I'd say so. More than that. But yeah, they're awesome. I love them. And as I said, I am trialing a product. We've only just got this in Australia now, this brand. So you guys in the States, I'll hold this up and I'll try and give you a bit of an idea if I can see it. You can see that there?
Oh, Fritz. Yeah, Fritz.
Yep. Now that's the Rift Lake cichlid buffer. So that'll do your pH and it'll do your KH at the same time. So the KH, I haven't tested the KH on this yet. I'm just trialing it. So it just says here, so for 10 gallons, you use one teaspoon. So it's for Tanganyikans, use 1 teaspoon for 5 gallons. Malawi's half a teaspoon for every 2.5 gallons. Same with your Lake Victorian. So yeah, your Lake Tanganyikan are, of course, because it's more alkaline and more stronger with its parameters than what the other two are. So that'll explain why I use 1 teaspoon for every 5 gallons. So pain in the bum when you got to convert gallons to litres and you got to go, oh shit, what do I got to use now? So yeah, it boosts me pH up a bit, but I'm not very happy with that one. But the one I do use and I do swear by, I've got to get this one again. So I'll just put that in front of the camera. You can see that there. Aquapix. I'll just move it back. Can you see that one, Alex?
Yes.
Yeah,
Aquapix.
that one. Yeah, that one is an Australian-based company, so that one does your KH, but it also does your pH too. But it won't budge your pH over 8.4, but it'll raise your KH up big time. I've used this, and I swear by it. 4 teaspoons of this, my pH is at 8.4, my KH is at 14 degrees, and I know exactly what to use, how much, when, and yeah, and vice versa. Just the Fritz one. Fritz here is owned by brought into the country through CCAM. I'm not a big fan of it. Everyone goes, oh yeah, Fritz is good. My personal opinion, I'm not a big fan of it. I stick with what I know and it works. But the Fritz stuff, yeah, it's just a trial. It's got to see how it works over the long run after I do a couple of water changes and see what it will do with me KH levels, see if it'll stable it out. If so, well, then yeah, we've got a product there to muck around with, but I more prefer the Aquapix. It's a better product in my mind for a kilo. compared to, what is it, 1.1 pound? No, I prefer the 1 kilo.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about for Frontosas?
Whatever anyone wants to ask.
So if you have any questions on Frontosas, be sure to post them in the comments, and we'll definitely answer them.
Yeah, by all means.
So what would you say is your favorite species of Frontosa?
Blue Mobers. The Zaire
Yeah.
Blue Mober.
They're definitely gorgeous.
They're gorgeous and extremely expensive.
Someone's asking, what are your thoughts on the red Frontosa?
On the red Frontosas, on the reds, I've seen them. I've seen them, but you've got to have the eye for them. Yeah, for me, this is just my own personal opinion. I'm not trying to turn your viewer off of buying them. If you like them and you like the look of them, buy them. But for me, I like to stick to your traditional Frontosas. So everyone has their own different tastes. So do you like the red Frontosa? By all means, you may get lucky and breed them. You can breed them, and you're successful at it. You'll make and you give them back to an aquarium. You're going to have a lot of people that will be after them after a while, hunt you down and ask, oh, have you got any more? Have you got any more? Take your time. Don't forcibly push them out the door. To get your money, if that's what you want to do, breed them and make money out of them, keep them on hand until they're at least 2 inches in size. If they're anything smaller, no one will buy them because they're too small.
So the best size to buy Frontosas would be 2 inches and above?
Yeah, from 2 inches and above. They're a good size for a juvenile.
I'm hoping to buy mine like about 3 or 4 inches or 5 inches.
I'll just go small. I'd honestly start them at 2. Just buy them at 2 inches because it's not as. If you go blue mobers or your collars, you're looking nearly top dollar. Because collars are starting to become more and more expensive because they're getting less and less being imported. So, if you like Burundis, get them at 4 inches, 2 inches. Within 6 months, they're at the size you want anyway. For your Kingomas, 2 inches, and just look after them. Keep your heater in your tank stable at 26 degrees. I wouldn't have it up any higher, and I wouldn't have it any lower. Just as a rule of thumb, this with any form of fish, regardless if it's Rift Lake or South or Central American, and you've noticing fry, keep your temperatures stable at 26 degrees. Don't crank it up. 25, 26, you won't have spinal deficiencies with them. Because what I mean by that is its spinal will have a deformity. It'll have a bow or a bend or something like that in it. And you can always tell if it does because its tail will be up higher. It won't be dead square. Usually tell with South and Central Americans, the straight dorsal lines down the side of their bodies. With fronties, it's nearly the same. So a lot of them don't have the lines like your say for instance your let's say fire mouse and your Jack Dempseys, and you go into those sort of species there. They usually, you can pick the line there, even though some of them won't show, but you can pick it. And if you got your temperature up too high, you're going to, and after a while, as it matures, it'll have a spinal deformity. That's just by people not knowing, have your temperature down on a correct temperature level, especially when they're young. Just keep your tank temperatures at 26 degrees. So I think that's, for you guys in Fahrenheit, I think that's 80 or 82 degrees Fahrenheit or somewhere around there. You don't want to go higher. Just have it around that 82 to, I think it's 82 to, yeah, I don't know how your Fahrenheit works, but I would say 82 degrees Fahrenheit, you should be safe. I think that's 26 degrees Celsius or thereabouts.
So what are your thoughts on keeping different species of Frontosas together? Is it a good idea or no?
No. I mean, it has been done. Then you run the risk of crossbreeding everything, especially if you're after one certain species, and funny will breed, say you've got a Burundi male, and the rest of all your other fronties are all females. So you might have some female Kingomas, you'll have female blue moba fronties, you'll have some Ecolas, your Milweepes, and the list goes on and on and on. Even your Katoomba Frontosas, your females. If you got that one male, and let's say hypothetically it's a Burundi, and it breeds with everything, you're going to crossbreed everything. So everything will have, they'll be useless. So they'll be worthless to a Frontosa breeder if they want to buy from you, and you've got all these other ones, and you've got one male in there from different species, mixing it with everything else. You create hybrids, and then you've got issues. So species only. You've got Burundis, stick them with Burundis. You got Ecolas, stick them with Ecolas. You got Kingomas, same. It's the same with all of them. It's like Tropius. Keep your Tropius on their own. If you've got firecrackers, those things are awesome. Tropius cichlid. Keep them on their own. You can breed them. They're in high demand. They're rare. So if you've got firecracker Tropius in your local fish store or an aquarium, you see them and you've got a tank, you know what to do with them, and you bring them home and you start a colony off, within 6 weeks to 2 months, they'll be ready. They'll breed. They're rapid fire. They're firecrackers. They'll breed like hell.
That's cool. Well, I want to thank you so much for a great show tonight. I had a great time.
Yeah, no dramas. Always my pleasure.
So next Tuesday we're going to start a new show. We're talk about macaws.
Well, you want to go there, do you?
Yeah, I know you're looking forward to it, right?
Yeah, cool.
I love macaws.
I love them. I've had them. Macaws. Macaws are an awesome bird. They're not a bird for the faint-hearted, so we'll explain that to you guys next week. Macaws are awesome. I've had them. I've had blue and golds, and I'll learn the ins and outs of how to look after them, what to feed them, the right cages, toys for them, how to interact with them, and give you some good advice on if you have a macaw and you're having issues with harness training. I'll show you some really good tips.
So we'll do a couple episodes on macaws, and then we'll come back to African cichlids.
Yep, sounds good to me, mate.
Awesome. I want to thank everyone for watching this episode of For the African Cichlids. I hope you enjoyed learning about Frontosas. And if you have any questions, post them in the comments and we'll answer them when we see them. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for another awesome episode.
What does the word fair spell out? What does the word fair mean to pet keepers? It means fish, amphibians, inverts, and reptiles. Out with Aquarium Obsession and in with fair. Still the same great group, now with a new name to be inclusive to hobbyists from all areas of the pet hobby. Have tropical fish? Great. You are welcomed. Have amphibians? Awesome, you are welcomed. Have invertebrates like scorpions, crayfish, insects, and others? Great. Please come join the group and show them off. Have reptiles? You too are welcome. Share your fish, amphibians, inverts, and reptiles in the group. Ask questions and get help from experienced hobbyists. Plenty of fun group activities daily, such as YouTube Thursdays where fish keeping YouTubers can share their videos. Have aquarium supplies you want to sell? Check out our sister Facebook group, Fair Equipment and Supplies Sales Group. Check out and join our great Facebook groups, now inclusive to more pet hobbyists. Search on Facebook f.i.r/fish amphibian invertebrates reptiles for the main group, and f.i.r equipment and supplies sales group for the sales group to sell your pet supplies.
On the next Friday Live with Aqua Alex Cardinale, we kick off the month of June. Live Friday, June 7th, 2024 at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. It's an all-new Friday Live with Aqua Alex. There will be a couple of new segments debuting on Friday Live with Aqua Alex on the next episode. One of those new segments is Featured Fish Keeper. And our very first featured fish keeper will be Daryl Shorts. See Daryl's amazing aquariums. Another new segment debuting on the next Friday Live will be Fishy Flashback Friday, where I, Aqua Alex, will play segments from my old fish keeping videos. Also, Aqua Alex's featured fish of the week will be the Jaguar cichlid. Aqua Alexa's aquarium facts and tips will be on handling fish aggression and keeping aggressive fish together. There will be a special surprise guest. The Aqua Alex featured aquarium product, the Sea Chem tidal filters. All that and more live this Friday, June 7th, 2024, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. On Friday Live with Aqua Alex on YouTube channel, The Real Alex Cardinale, and Twitch, Real Alex Cardinale 1993. The next Saturday Live with Alex Cardinale airs live this Saturday, June 8th, 2024 at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I have another action-packed Saturday Live coming your way on June 8th. The animal of the week will be the rhinoceros. Learn about the rhinoceros on the next episode of Saturday Live. The Oasis Aquatics featured fish will be the stir-by Corydoras. Aqua Alex will feature 2 fish species. Aqua Alex will feature the wormy-nosed tetra and the festivum cichlid. Alex Cardinale will have facts on YouTube and Yankee Stadium. South Florida local business will be Green Acres Bowl. Plus, Alex answers your burning questions and more, including Karens of the Week and funny videos. Don't miss the next Saturday Live this Saturday, June 8th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. On YouTube channel, The Real Alex Cardinale, and Twitch, Real Alex Cardinale 1993.